Hello everyone. What if we want to know the reason for a specific exception? Let me show you how to handle that within an except block. We are going to focus on version 2 of this code snippet. Exceptions are types in Python. Just like how you can instantiate types of list and dictionary, you can also instantiate the exception type. We are going to do that by specifying the name of the type, which is going to be exception with a capital E. Then we'll be using the keyword as. Finally, we'll be typing the variable name, which is going to store the reference to the exception object instance. Within the except block, we are going to use the string typecast function to cast the exception object instance in order to display the reason. Let's go back to pizza.py and we are going to display the reason for the exceptions that are getting caught by each of this except blocks over here. We have to type in the name of the type, which is going to be exception after the except keyword. And then we'll have to type in the keyword as, and let's use the variable name as E. Within the print function call, I can now display str of E in order to display the reason for the exception. Let's also display the type of the exception. I'm going to type in the string type of exception here, and let me use the type built-in function call and pass as argument the variable E over here. Let's repeat these lines of code within the second except block over here, which is handling the error messages that are coming from the lines of code dealing with the pizza analysis. So I'm going to just paste the type print function call over here. Let's save the updated version of the program. I'm going to run it. Let's try the error input of just entering 10. Recall that this used to throw an index error and the program used to crash. Now we are getting bad user input message along with the reason for the exception, which is saying list index out of range. This particular exception is coming from this line of code because the user is not providing input to the slice count here, and we are trying to access a non-existing index within the args list. The type of exception here is going to be index error. What if we try the user input as 10, 0? Recall that this used to throw zero division error in this particular line of code. Now we are getting pizza analysis error, which is coming from catching that particular zero division error within this except block. And the reason here is simply going to get displayed as division by zero. Type of exception is going to be zero division error. Let's try the input of 10, hello. Recall that this used to throw value error. The value error used to come from this particular line of code because we are trying to cast a string data type into an integer, which does not make any sense to Python. The reason for the exception is showing up as invalid literal for int with base 10 hello, and the type of exception is going to be value error. If we were to try user input of 10 and 4.5, that will produce a similar reason for the exception, and the type is again going to be value error. What do you think will happen if I enter the user input as 10 and -4 now? Observe that we are simply getting pizza analysis error from this particular print function call, and the type of exception is getting displayed as assertion error. That's because that particular exception is coming from this assert statement that we included. Why are we not able to display the reason? Because we are not mentioning any reason to Python. There's a different way to handle assertion in order to meaningfully display a reason for the assertion. Assert statements look very similar to if conditions. We are going to learn about the raise keyword soon. That's going to enable us to combine an if condition and raise a specific exception when an assertion error happens. For now, let's put a pen on this, and I'm going to show you that Control C is now going to work. Observe that previously Control C was not working when we just had except colon. When we changed the except colon block to accept exception as E, that changed the behavior of the program. We are going to shortly see why that is the case. Let me switch back to the slide deck, and we are going to talk about why we need to catch certain exceptions. Let me give you an example to motivate that. I'm going to quickly go back to pizza.py here. Let's say that in this particular line of code, instead of using args variable to invoke the split method call, we have a typo and I typed 2s by mistake. Let's save the updated version of the program. Let's try to run it now. What do you think will happen if I provide the input as 10, 8 here? Observe that we are now getting bad user input error along with the reason saying name args with a double S is not defined. Type of the exception is name error. What will happen if I try 4, 4 as input? That's going to produce the exact same error messages, and your program will never execute successfully because you have a syntax error. So how can we make sure that we do not use a blanket except block in such a way that we are catching errors where the program is supposed to crash? We are going to achieve that by making sure that we are including specific exception types within the except block. We can mention specific exception types within the except block by using a tuple. An example here is mentioning two different errors, which are value error and index error over here. We are indicating to Python that this particular except block needs to catch only these two types of errors, and that's not going to handle any other type of error like name error. The general rule which you need to always follow is that you need to catch specific exceptions instead of catching blanket exceptions. You also need to make sure that you're displaying a meaningful error message using a print function call within the except block. In Python, technically your except block can be empty without any lines of code, but I would strongly encourage you to not do that because often you'll end up catching exceptions which you did not mean to catch, and your program will totally ignore those erroneous situations rather than dealing with it. So let's go back to pizza.py and catch specific exceptions instead of catching a general exception over here. I'm going to update the except block here to catch value error. Let me type in value error within double parentheses to indicate the tuple of exceptions over here. The next type of exception that I want to catch is type error, and I also want to be able to deal with index error. Let me copy this particular line of code and I'm going to do the same within the second block over here. Actually, let's just leave the other block as such. My bad. I want to just leave it as such because we catch different exceptions within the pizza analysis except block. Let me go ahead and save the updated version of the program. Let's clear the screen and let's try to run it. Now if I give user input as 10, 8, observe that the program is crashing immediately with name error. Why is that the case? That's because this except block over here does not catch name error. Now we'll know that there is a syntax error in the program and we are going to directly go ahead and fix that. Let me remove the duplicate S from line number 19 over here, line number 18, my apologies. Let's try to run the program again. If I provide the input as 10, 8, observe that we are getting the correct output over here. What if we provide the input as 10, 0? That is still going to throw zero division error. What about 10, hello? That's going to make us catch value error within this except block, which is one of the types of errors that we want to catch as mentioned by this tuple over here. Let me go ahead and save the updated version of the program, and I'm going to use Ctrl C to terminate the program execution. Notice that now also the program is able to handle Control C signal. Let's go back to the slide deck, and I want to talk all about exception hierarchies. There is a documentation link on the slide deck which I've already opened in my Chrome browser. This is the documentation page for Python which displays the entire exception hierarchy over here. We are not going to learn about classes. You just need to understand that each of these are types. Observe that when we used the except colon block, we were including keyboard interrupt exception as part of the type of exception that gets caught by the except colon block. That's because when you just type in except colon, you're going to catch base exception, which is the topmost exception in the exception hierarchy. When we changed the except block to catch exception type, which is coming below the keyboard interrupt exception in the hierarchy, the program was able to successfully accept the keyboard interrupt Control C kill signal, and you were able to terminate the program execution. The exception hierarchy is quite intimidating. We don't expect you to know the hierarchy as such, but I just wanted to show you that there is documentation out there for you to go and refer in case you're interested about the exception hierarchy. I want to take 1 minute to talk about how you can access Python documentation. Let's say that you want to read the documentation for the sorted function. You can just Google sorted Python documentation. That will get you to this particular link over here, which provides detailed examples for that particular function. Feel free to go through that if you want additional practice. If you click on the sorted function link here, that will take you to the description of the function definition, and you'll be able to see the details about each of the configured parameters over here. Let's go back to the slide deck. And the last thing which I want to talk about in today's lecture is, what if we want to produce a specific kind of an error instead of just an assertion error when we are dealing with semantic errors within our program? We are going to do that by leveraging the exception hierarchy. We are going to determine which specific exception we want to display to the user when a specific semantic error is encountered. Keep in mind that when you deal with arithmetic errors, you're going to be able to catch all of the sub errors within it. For instance, zero division error is a sub exception within arithmetic error. So if you catch arithmetic error, you're going to be able to deal with zero division error. That is the reason why, as to catching just the base exception enabled us to catch the keyboard interrupt exception as well. Let's talk about assertion error. Assertion error comes in the hierarchy below the arithmetic error. Let's say that we want to use arithmetic error to deal with the semantic errors that we have within pizza.py. We are going to combine the if condition to introduce the same assertion check condition, and we are going to use the raise keyword to raise a new arithmetic error exception. While creating the object instance of type arithmetic error, we are going to display a specific meaningful message to the user of the program, which is going to be the argument over here. Observe that since we are mentioning the type name here and mentioning open parenthesis and close parenthesis, we are simply creating an object instance of that particular type. Let's go back to pizza.py, and we are going to change the assert statements into raise statements over here. Let's go to the beginning of the program. Instead of asserting radius is greater than or equal to 0, I will now have to convert my condition to if radius is less than 0. What do I want to do? I want to be able to raise arithmetic error. So the error message that I want to include when I raise arithmetic error is going to say radius should be positive. Similarly, I'm going to change my other assert statement to if condition. Let's flip the condition over. If slice underscore count is less than 0, I want to raise arithmetic error with the message as slice count should be positive. Let's go ahead and save the updated version of the program. I'm going to clear the screen here really quickly. Let's try to run the program. I'm going to provide the input as 10 and minus 4. Observe that now we are getting pizza analysis error message. Along with that, we are displaying slice count should be positive, which is coming from the object instance for the arithmetic exception that we just instantiated using this raise keyword over here. The program no longer crashes because of the specific exception, because we are able to catch that particular exception within the corresponding except block surrounding the pizza analysis lines of code. Let's try the input of minus 10 and 4. That's going to display the reason for the exception as radius should be positive. And once again, we are raising arithmetic error. So the type of the exception is going to be arithmetic error. I'll wrap up today's lecture here. Please make sure to go through pizza.py example in detail and try out all of these erroneous inputs on your own. That will be it for today's lecture.